The EU has been tough on big tech, but a new incoming antitrust chief may shift policies toward companies like Meta, Alphabet, Apple, and Amazon. Joining us now with more on global tech regulation, AI, and much more. Peter Huntsman, CEO and president of Huntsman Corp. And it's good to see you this morning, Peter.
Joe, very good to see you again.
Are we behind the curve in terms of this in this country, and the EU's right, or do we need to be more like them, or do they need to back off? What do you really believe, Peter?
Joe, we have multiple billions of dollars of business in Europe, and I really struggle to find one aspect of European industrial, energy, or tech policy that we would want to even begin to regulate, particularly their environmental policy, that we'd even want to begin to regulate in this country to be like Europe.
Do you see any, so we're talking about a shift, is it going to get worse, or the pendulum already swung too far in the EU and it's going to start coming back the other way? Was anything learned from what could have been a disaster after the Russia-Ukraine situation with natural gas and everything else? Has anything been learned?
I hope we've learned a couple of things. First of all, when you think about big tech, when you think about AI, it all begins with hydrocarbons. We can talk about all the green energy we want. We can talk about all the renewable. There's no such thing as green energy. There's not an energy source in the world that doesn't depend on oil, that doesn't depend on the chemical industry to build out the infrastructure, distribution, transformers, storage, battery technology, solar technology, wind tech. All of this comes from hydrocarbons. So when you have a policy that's anti-hydrocarbon, that's anti-chemicals, first of all, that's just a complete contradiction. And when we think about AI in this country, the competitiveness of AI will be both technically driven and energy driven. And that energy needs to be able to come from a source that is reliable, that is affordable, and readily available. And when you think about that today, that's mostly natural gas and it's mostly coal in this country.
We just had Pete Buttigieg on, Mayor, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. I don't hear that. When I hear a lot of people talk about the energy transition, I don't hear what you just said in their calculus. Do they know these things? And are they misleading the public, or do they not know? If they not connected the dots between what they're saying they're going to do in one area, and AI and technology and everything else in the other area?
I can't speak specifically on what he said or what he thinks, but I can talk about reality. The reality is what we face every day, what we face as a manufacturer, what we face as consumers every day. And that is what we pay for every day. If you're going to have green energy, you have to be willing not only to pay for it, but to pay for the backup sources. Green energy, a lot of the wind's only about 25 to 30% efficient. I'm not anti-wind. We make the raw materials that go into the wind industry. But I'm not willing to pay for 2 or 3 sources of electricity and only have one of them operating at any one time. That's not going to keep me competitive. That's one of Europe's big problems.